So you want to listen to Miles Davis. Okay? That's a reasonable request. So today we're going to go over some of Miles Davis's records. Like as if you were just starting off. You're not a Miles Davis fan. And I'm going to give you 5 records that you should start off with. And then we'll go over some other ones that you can get into after you've dipped your feet in. Number 5. Miles Davis's ESP. Listen to this band. Miles on trumpet, Wayne Shorter on sax, Tony Williams on drums, Ron Carter on bass, and Herbie Hancock on piano. This is a good album to get into Miles Davis. Next up, another classic. Miles Davis's Roundabout Midnight. This is a classic. This is a jazz standard. Everybody's done it. Bye Bye Blackbird, Tad's Delight, Dear Old Stockholm, all of you. This is the original Columbia 6i mono. Great record to get into Miles. Miles, Sketches of Spain. This is another album that's great. You want to conk out, you want to chill out, put on this record and just flow out. Go into the clouds. Great Miles Davis record. Someday My Prince Will Come. John Coltrane, Hank Mobley, Wynton Kelly, Paul Chambers, and Jimmy Cobb. Another great band. And of course, the king of all, the Big Daddy. Miles Davis, Kinda Blue. 6i mono. But later on, after you've gotten your feet wet and you've listened to them, there's some other ones for you to check out. Miles Davis's Water Babies. It's funky, kind of 70s vibe. Electric jazz fusion. Maybe when you're a little later you can get into that one. Miles Davis Plays for Lovers. Guys, this is a great record too. This is another chill record. I mean, obviously in the title, Plays for Lovers. It's smooth. It's relaxed. The tracks in here are There's No Greater Love, Something I Dreamed Last Night, and You Don't Know What Love Is. Those are my favorite off this record. Next up, Miles Davis, In a Silent Way. This record is funky. This record is like psychedelic. It's very hard to describe it, but this is a record that you probably won't dig until you've dipped your feet in some of those other records. Like some of you may be asking, well, why didn't you put Bitches Brew? Bitches Brew is no doubt a masterpiece, but you're not going to be ready to listen to Bitches Brew right out the gate. You have to dip your feet into some other stuff first. Shh, Peaceful. That's the jam on this track. Wonderful song. Wonderful. Miles Davis, The Bertha Cool Sessions. Who's cooler than Miles Davis? Juru, Move, Godchild, Israel, Deception, and Moon Dreams. Those are the songs I like off Bertha Cool. This is a great record. This is the one that got Miles started. And this, for Miles Davis fans, if you want to get 2 analog cuts of 2 records in one pressing, you get Workin' and Steamin' in this pressing. Prestige, awesome. The band, Miles Davis, John Coltrane, Red Garland, Paul Chambers, and Philly Joe Jones. And my favorite song off this whole album is It Never Entered My Mind. I mean, that song's incredible. Also, When I Fall in Love is not bad. But guys, you cannot go wrong with this set. Working and Steamin' in one. Nice 70s press. Instead of buying both of them or the digital cuts that are out now, you can get both of them, all analog cuts, for 20 bucks on Discogs. Jazz Track. This is another record where, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, this album blew my mind. Their version of On Green Dolphin Street, I mean, it's just, I mean, it sets the mood, man. I mean, it's relaxing. It's just, chilled. It's a great, song. It's tough to, describe it, but Coltrane sax playing on that one, oh, On Green Dolphin Street. Listen to that. But the rest of the album too, on that side too, is just phenomenal. I mean, it's, if you like that slow jazz, that like, kind of blues sound, yeah, jazz track. Seven Steps to Heaven, another classic by Miles, but this is more bop, so Basin Street Blues, Seven Steps to Heaven, I Fall in Love Too Easily. This is actually a damn good record. Damn good. I could have put this in the first five for you to listen to Miles and get into, but there's so many Miles Davis records you could go over. The band, Victor Feldman on piano, Herbie Hancock piano, George Coleman tenor sax, Frank Butler drums, Anthony Williams drums, and Ron Carter bass. Seven Steps to Heaven, classic. My Funny Valentine, Miles Davis in concert. This pressing I have is an OG, and actually, some of you guys will get a kick out of this. Check that out. Still sealed. Still sealed. Haven't cracked it. I have another copy of it, but it's nice when you have it. Back then, that's how they came. They didn't seal this thing up. They just put it like that and they sealed the record. And that was a sealed copy. Cool, huh? Next up, Live Evil. This is definitely a record for you to get in later. It's experimental jazz fusion, avant-garde stuff. But I like it because I like Miles. Miles Smiles. Great record in my opinion. Love it. Orbits, Footprints, Dolores, and Gingerbread Boy. Those are my favorite tracks off this record. Miles Davis's Tutu. Miles' later career, when he started hitting into the 80s. I mean, this record is interesting because he tries to change from the stuff he's normally used to, and he goes into, the 80s synth pop type style, but he brings his, horn and his melodic tones to it. I mean, this is a cool record. Miles Davis's Tutu. And for those who just want to, pick up a, kind of like a greatest hits type thing, this is a cool collection. It's called Basic Miles. I mean, and it has Stella by Starlight, Miles Ahead. It has Round Midnight, Devil May Care, and On Green Dolphin Street. This is a cool set to listen to. And Miles Davis at Carnegie Hall. It's a classic. Absolute classic. The band, Hank Mobley, Wynton Kelly, Paul Chambers, Jimmy Cobb with Gil Evans and his 21-piece orchestra. On this at Carnegie Hall, he plays So What, Spring Is Here, No Blues, Oleo, plays Someday My Prince Will Come, The Meaning of Blues, Lament, and New Rumba. This was a classic concert. This is history. So after you're a fan of Miles and you love him, you'll check out live at Carnegie Hall. But before, probably not. Miles Davis's Nefertiti. This was one of the last records he did where, it kind of was that, Miles Davis, Wayne Shorter, Herbie Hancock, Ron Carter, Tony Williams lineup. And after this record, he started venturing into the acid jazz. But Nefertiti's a good record. And Miles Davis, You're Under Arrest. This record's cool too because he has a lot of cool covers on this. With Time After Time, he covers Cyndi Lauper's Time After Time, and Michael Jackson's Human Nature. So, for those of you guys who know those songs, this is Miles' interpretation of it. It's cool. You're Under Arrest, Miles says. And the classic. When I first heard this album, I was like, what the? You know, because the tunes and everything was not like in normal key. You know, like how if a song's in like B or a song's in D. I mean, this dude went all over. Uh, a lot of it's off, but it works. You know, it's off key stuff, but it works. Spanish Keys, one of my favorite songs on this one. This is a classic, guys. Classic. But you're going to have to get into Miles a little bit before you start. This is a 70s press. It's a great record. Pharaoh's Dance is cool. Bitches Brew. Spanish Key, though, is my favorite song on this whole album. I mean, it's just bananas. Bitches Brew. Be Miles Davis's fan. Sorcerer. More. Yeah. Prince of Darkness. That's also Miles' nickname. The Sorcerer. Nothing Like You. Great record for you guys to check out. Porgy and Bess. That's a classic. This is not my favorite Miles album, but I just thought I'd throw it in there because they're very easily picked up in the stacks for around $5. Miles Ahead. This is another Gil Evans thing. Funny story too, when Miles saw that cover, he was like, who the hell is that white woman? Get her the hell off my damn cover. He was not digging that. So then they ended up changing it. But this is a cool album. Miles Davis, Jack Johnson. Great soundtrack. Great band. Miles Davis, Herbie Hancock, John McLaughlin, Bill Cobham, Michael Henderson. And this thing only has 2 songs on it. Right Off and Yesternow. And this is with Miles, you know, experimenting, doing the same stuff with his off-key stuff. That's why the song Right Off, the notes are all wrong. Everything is wrong on it. But Miles and McLaughlin make it work. Miles Davis, Jack Johnson. Miles Davis, Star People. It's a cool record in the 83. Come Get It, Speak, Star People, and Star on Sicily. Cool record for you Miles Davis fans to check out. Alright guys, that's it. There are more Miles Davis records that, you know, I could recommend and pull from my collection, but this video is already, you know, going at 13 minutes, so I'm going to have to make one another day, guys. But if you want to get into Miles, those are the records you should check out. Alright guys, this is Bobby with Spitting the Truth About Records. Deuces.